So I wanted to make a quick video about how to take apart the bits of the center console of my 750iL e38. So I bought one of these aftermarket 3D printed cup holders with the two dual Type-C fast chargers. The purpose of this video is just to kind of like review this thing, see what I think about it, and also wanted to just kind of show how to take apart one of the center consoles so it helps other people maybe check these out and not break their stuff. So getting started with this, first thing you need to do is get the gear lever off. So to do that, you just press the button, pull up, like that, and then from there, you need to get this plastic surround out. So what I do is kind of try and lift up here. If it doesn't work, then try different angles. But basically the principle of this is that you need to lift this end up first and then slide this out. It'll come up over the boot. There's a lot of electronics under here, and this part's already broken on mine, so just be mindful of this piece and this cable here. It's quite delicate. First I'm going to undo this plug in the back, and then this next one is also going to come off. I should just pull straight down, tab on the side, and then you can flip this over. There's going to be 3 tiny screws here, normally 4 if yours isn't broken like mine. So grab your small Phillips 1 screwdriver and get those out. The white piece should come off. And then this LED board should also come off, and this piece is free. And you can put it somewhere safe. Go ahead and undo these 2 Phillips 2 screws. They might fall in the tray, but that's fine, you can retrieve them later. It's best to use a magnetic screwdriver if you have one handy. It's always pretty nice. Remove your car phone if you have one. So pull it out of its slot. It's RJ45 here. Pull that out. Next, slide forward all the way. Grab a trim tool. Lift up this panel here. It only goes up this way, so be careful. Don't break the tabs. Place that to the side. And there's going to be 2 screws here. Might be hard to see, but they are there. Okay, so while you're in there, undo these ones. So while you're in there, go ahead and do these 2. Come off to the side. And then for the entire center console, slide it back, lift up the rear, slide forward. That pulling tab should come out. You might have to leverage it. There you go. So then from there, you want to just undo these 2 buttons. Sorry, connectors. That guy, and then this is another RJ45, and then there's center console out. So then, if your car is a nice example, these plastic parts wouldn't be broken. So then you would just want to unscrew these. But mine, I already know are broken. So I'll just do it anyways. So the next step would be to remove the entire center console now. And there's only 2 tabs that hold it in this place, so you need to just firmly lift it up like that, and then pull forward slightly and up. There's a series of connectors, a bunch of connectors, part of the harness that needs to come out of here, and then this whole thing can come out. Was just able to kind of lean it over, but you need to be careful with the leather. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo these. There's a bunch of pre-wired connectors that need to come out. Cigarette lighter. Oh, and also the hazard light and locking button. Mine's missing at the moment. Okay, so now with this part out, I'm just going to take an opportunity to do a little bit of cleaning, because there is about 26 years of junk here. And I always call it a health hazard. I think that's what it is, but you know, go ahead and get this cleaned up, and then move on to taking this apart and installing our cup holder. Okay, so there's a bunch of screws here and 2 on top here that are maybe out of view of the camera, but you only need to do 4. They're essentially on the edges of this part. And if you wanted to remove this storage bin, it's real easy too. I'll probably do that at some point. There's some pretty cool mods for that area where you can replace it with a better upgraded aftermarket version, much like this cup holder. Anyways, there it is. Done with it. So now it's gonna sit there just like that. Now it's just the reversal of everything we just did. And check that out. Doesn't look like the perfect fitment, which is wow. So it doesn't look like it's perfect fitment around the edges, which is a little disappointing, but I will try and line it up a little better right now. So I might have to try and figure out a way to fill this gap. So I just changed locations. I had to come and get this. I couldn't let this gap that you can clearly see light through, I couldn't let that be a thing. So I'm gonna try and wrap some of this stuff around the inner perimeter and see if I can make it seal. Okay, so starting over here, I'll just remove this guy again. And then now the plan was to throw some of that steel around this edge and see if it will hold up. That's an interesting construction right there. So, oh, wow. Okay, well that should be glued. I guess I'll have to fix this later too. That's unfortunate. This thing was about like $75, $80, so I'll be honest, this kind of build quality is a little bewildering to me. Yeah, I mean, there's the guts of it. So, I don't know. I feel like that should be glued. That's what's been rattling. Or there's also a piece of filament in here. But this glue is not good what they used. Oh man. I might have just made this difficult. As I do best. Oh, there we go. Okay, so line up the USBs first. We have to do this. This thing's definitely getting glued. With some real glue. I'm gonna have to do some trimming on one side of it. So what I'll do is I'll start here. And I'll go just slightly above the edge if I can. Or maybe flush. Possibly, does not matter, but focus doesn't come off like so I'm gonna cut it right here. Okay. Peel back this part too. Alright, so I'm gonna do a little trimming right there. Okay. That actually holds, that's crazy. These gaskets you can get from Home Depot, they're really good, Frost King. They're just like, I don't know, they're just great for sealing little gaps. I wasn't anticipating needing to use anything like this for this job though. Well, fortunately, this is kind of the side that does sit flush, so not a big deal that it's coming off, but okay, do some more trimming. Couldn't quite get it all the way flush. There you go. Oh yeah, much better. There's still a little crack, but I'll take it. It's better than having a bunch of stuff fall in there. But this is probably going to still accumulate some dust and things of that nature, but much improved. Alright, well, now's the appropriate time to do some testing with this. So I'll make sure that it actually works. Last thing to do now is just plug it in. So power is right here. It's going to be those two big wires. Right off the bat, it looks like it is wrong. The red and the brown are not lining up. So I'm guessing it needs to get switched. Okay, and we're back. So I need to switch these pins. And I don't know how easily these come out of this 3D printed connector. But I will try and get them out the regular way. So I have a very fine tip screwdriver. Let's see if I can depin with this. Okay, I think it must be from this side. I want to unpin the OEM harness. I might have better tools. I have a very good depinning tool. Well, I guess I'll try and depin the OEM harness because I don't know how easy that's going to be to pin. I don't want to break it, so. Mad dog. I don't know what that was about. I don't have depinning tools, but I have tools to install the rest of it. So far, my experience has been kind of good. I don't even know if it works yet. Definitely gonna break it if I do that. I'm losing daylight here, so this is kind of tough. I'm gonna see what I can do off camera. All right. Well, I was fiddling with this and basically ended up breaking the connector, and I'm just noticing that these pins are not really that great at all. The idea of a 3D printed plug is not a bad idea, but not when you design it like this and use pins like this. So now this is like, it's not a safe thing to do. I'm gonna have to tape these up. I want to use this, and now I hardly do because now it seems like a hazard. I'm gonna have to change this plug, which is just kind of silly. This should have just had an OEM plug. Even without OEM plug, this should have had the right, connection. It's positive and ground. It's 50-50 chance. So now I have to destroy this thing. And I'm just gonna have to tape these up and stick them where they go. Yeah, it's frustrating. And yeah, I wasn't prepared. The scissors are all I have, so I'm gonna basically just be whittling this thing away. Try not to break the stupid flimsy pins. There it is. Now garbage. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do some taping. Hopefully I don't have any problems. But I'm definitely gonna have to get a connector and do this properly. Very unfortunate. The tips of these are sharp for some reason. Oh, and by the way, I did add this test tape earlier. Yeah, I'm running out of patience with this, so hack job. Alright, not proud of that. Okay, well, after all that, I can finally test it. Okay. Oh shit, now I don't know which colors were. Ugh. Whoops. I'm gonna fix this again. Anyways, so that's the red. Okay, just gonna leave it like that. Red goes there. Wow, I don't like that one bit. Alright, I'll just put it back now. Put it some of the way back, but not all the way. Alright, so I just plugged in the fuse and we see there's a little red light. Looks kind of good in the car. Looks better with what I did though. So I guess I'll plug something into it and see what happens. So this is a sort of USB multimeter. I've got a USB Type-C adapter on the end. Red light is still persistent. Okay, it says 5 volts. That's good. Check the other one. And 5 volts. In order to test, none other than the Valve Steam Deck. Alright, the amps are ramping up, 0.49 amps. I'm gonna power this up, see what happens. So I'm at 57%, and it says 3 hours, 40 minutes till charge, so let's play some CarX drift racing. Way too much power. This is the car behind me right now. Well, it's not pulling any more amps, so I don't know if it's letting it do the fast charge. Oh, I suck at this game. Let's start the car and see the changes. I actually went down 1%, so it's not charging the Steam Deck. It says 0.44 amps. Maybe it's this whole configuration. It's a bit weird. It has power passively, but probably not going to kill a battery. Now I'm actually considering vinyl wrapping this since I have it out. Right, so I actually got this thing apart again. Just undid all these screws around this perimeter. There's a lot of them. And boom, that piece comes off. So I'm gonna try and do a vinyl wrap on this. I've done it before. Just might run into some issues. Let's see if I can get these out. I've always wondered if these come out. It looks like they do. Looks like they're kind of glued. Yeah, they are. It's fine, I'll glue them back, I guess. Ugh. I'm gonna see what I can do with this and hopefully make it look a whole lot better. Yeah, I'm gonna try and wrap this. I don't think I'm gonna film it because it's just gonna take up way too much time. But anyways, I will return shortly with this thing looking beautiful. All right, it's not perfect, but it's maybe something to be proud of. So, there it is. This took a long time to do, and I messed up in some spots. Still see some of the cracks. I just didn't get enough sanding done. I know that if I just went a little bit more, it'd probably be fine, but overall the point was just to refresh and just kind of see how this looks in the car. I don't know how it's going to go with the sand beige, but if this goes well, maybe I'll do the rest of the wood trim. When I was taking this apart, I tried to get the wooden door off of it and noticed that I would have to glue it back, and it was really cracked, and this took a long time, so I wasn't really feeling like putting it on, plus it's already broken. So went ahead, grabbed this box, emptied it out, and then just taped over all the holes. So now it's kind of a usable compartment.
My vinyl wrap job is just not sitting right with me, nor is the color. So long story short, I'm going to be doing something much different, much better than this later on. You'll see. I'll be including all of the wood trim in my e38 in another DIY video I'm working on. So definitely watch out for that upload later on. Alright, let's get back to the cup holder install.
Alright, so it's a new day and we're gonna get this guy back installed.
I've fully installed the cup holder at this point and I'm ready to share my thoughts. I'll start by listing off some of the things I like about this product. Cup holders for older cars are always going to be one of the best upgrades someone can do. It's a handy feature that improves greatly upon the stock cup holders built into these cars from the factory, which are terrible and are prone to breaking just by breathing on them. If you have one of these late 1990s BMWs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a very welcome upgrade to see a cup holder like this in a convenient location. Second to that, USB Type-C fast charging capabilities. This totally brings this 1990s yacht into the modern era. Super handy, and I use this function of the device every time I hop in the car. I'm able to charge pretty much any device, although I don't know what the true watt and amp output is. I tested a plethora of devices and everything seems to be charging nicely. I am able to charge my iPhone 12 Pro Max, my Valve Steam Deck, my camera, microphones, gimbal, headlamp, Bluetooth speakers, pretty much a whole slew of devices, and would probably work for whatever you're trying to charge. When I ordered this particular unit, I noticed there were several different configurations to choose from, and I went for what I thought was the best one for my application. You could check these out on your own and make a decision on what style works best in yours. I will add that I've found 3 different sources for this style of cup holder. My particular one was sourced from a seller on eBay, so this review and its criticisms fall directly under the product which 3D Cup Holders offers. There are 3 different variants of the cup holder from 3D Cup Holders. The one I have with dual 30 watt Type-C charging ports. There's one with a single 24 watt Type-A charging port. And lastly, a cup holder with no charging port at all. There seems to be another seller that sells a 24 watt USB Type-A version, but it's unknown to me whether or not this is the same seller. There is another supplier of this style of cup holder sold by Rendition, and this is not my first time hearing that name. They seem to offer a slew of different neat parts for several cars, even the E34 chassis. So maybe I'll make a few videos on some of their products in the future. That's if I can get my hands on some. So of course, consider that my cup holder is from 3D Cup Holders on eBay and is made by a completely different group. So don't take any part of this review as a criticism of Rendition's version or the other version that's floating around. So here's a few of the neutral points I wanted to make about this product. The part theoretically should be very simple to install, but I did not have that experience. Not even close, unfortunately.
This gap that you can clearly see light through, I couldn't let that be a thing, so. Right off the bat, it looks like it is wrong. The red and the brown are not lining up, so.
There were a lot of impedances, as you saw earlier, so I guess don't expect the install to go very smooth. There is a decent finish that blends in and almost looks OEM, but only almost. I think that it could do with some trim paint like SEM or some kind of coating over the 3D printed plastic. I prefer interior plastics to have a flat or matte appearance, which is the stock OEM look BMW was going for when they designed these interiors. Not really a big deal though, and if I wanted to, I could paint over this, but I won't bother going through that much effort. That wraps up pretty much everything good I had to say about this part, so let's get into some of the bad things about this product. So, as all of you saw earlier, I had to modify the 3D printed plug that connects to the stock cigarette lighter socket. And by modify, I mean that I had to completely destroy it in order to connect up to power. This was hugely frustrating, mainly because I was not prepared to depin anything, and as I mentioned during the video, I did not have any depinning tools, which even if I did, they may not have helped me to save the included connector. The quality of the plug was not good. The cup holder comes assembled with a 3D printed plug and what were clearly some cheap OE pins. I would recommend to anyone else that's going through the install of one of these to also purchase a OEM female connector and the appropriate pins. I want to reinforce the idea that this could potentially be a safety issue, given that the cigarette lighter plug is always hot, meaning it has 12 volts constantly unless the fuse is pulled or if the battery is not connected. You could argue it shouldn't be such a big issue since the circuit is ultimately fused, so that's neither here nor there. If I could offer any sort of recommendation or feedback, definitely just include an OEM plug. Even if you wanted to still include the 3D printed one, just make it an option. Just make it cost $10, $15, however many dollars more. I'm sure that people would want to pay. So obviously, this is a 3D printed part, so there's going to be some nuances like loose material stuck inside the part, the 3D print look, which some people may like, some people may not. I'm sort of along the lines of I think it should look as OEM as possible, but you can't have everything. I mentioned that this could be fixed with some form of paint, so there is that. But also the top layer seemed to easily come unglued, which was a bit strange, but easily fixable with some better adhesive. The USB ports should be spaced out wider. I don't know if this is just a restraint of what circuit board was available for the manufacturer. When I took a look at it, it seemed like it could have just been a generic one where the part was designed around it, but I don't really know. I have some cables that won't work together because the ports are too close, and that sucks because I don't want to have to buy new cables just to use this charger. And lastly, the outer perimeter of the cup holder does not line up very well with the center console. I was able to remedy this by adding some foam to fill in the visible gap so that dust, dirt, crumbs, or even water, liquids, since it is a cup holder, are, at least blocked from making their way down to the area where the body harness is, and that's right under the console. So I kind of saw that as a big red flag, aside from the visual aspect of it. So overall, it's a wonderful product, and I'm really pleased with the result. There were some hiccups along the way, but the good certainly overshadows the bad with this one. And even something as simple as a cup holder really makes me enjoy this car that much more. I look forward to using this thing. I know my passengers will also benefit from it, and it looks like it belongs in the interior, which is the most important thing when modifying, an older car like this. It's important that I mention that I did not receive anything for free here. This is not sponsored. This was a completely unbiased review of this product. I paid for the cup holder myself and organized all of this, so I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. I look forward to putting out some similar content in the future. I'd like to know if there's anything in particular some people would like to see me talk about, or anything I currently have on some of my other projects. Just leave a comment down below with your thoughts. Please be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and definitely leave a like or dislike on your way out. I'll leave that part up to you. But for now, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.